People always want to fly red eyes. I hate red eye flights. I hate them. Sometimes you take an 11 p.m. to New York, 7 hours, 6 hours, whatever, you can get some sleep in. 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Cleveland, it was a 4-hour flight. You can't sleep. There's nothing you can do. You got to either, you can sleep for a few hours, but you're going to wake up groggy, you get to Cleveland at 6 in the morning, what the fuck are you going to do?
Sure.
So I get on the flight with David. Danny was nice enough to stick me in first class. I get on the flight. Who am I delighted to see I'm going to be sitting next to in 2E.
George Janko in the flesh.
There he is, sitting there. And I get on. He gives me that ridiculous smile. It's me, George. What's up? So I sit down next to him, and you know, it's the plane takes off and everything. It's 11:30, and he goes, "Yeah, man. Before I got on this flight, took so many fucking edibles, bro. So fucking high." Then he just starts pulling snacks out of his bag. First, it's the Funyuns. He goes, "I never had Funyuns before, man. They're fucking great."
They were, by the way,
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
So underrated.
Oh
so
my
underrated.
God. By the way, shopping when you're high is great. Because like you're just like, I've never had that. Get it.
Most things when you're high are pretty great. I think that's why people get high.
Keep listening to the story.
On weed. So then all of a sudden he's
on weed.
Then all of a sudden he pulls out some Snickers. He got Snickers. Reese's. Little sour gummies. A sandwich. Gatorades. The guy comes, he goes, "Sir, will you be eating the chicken or the pasta?" George goes, "I'll have the chicken." This motherfucker ate for a family of 12.
Came with the ticket. I'm not going to disrespect the lady.
So he's sitting there grubbing.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm editing a video. Now it's about 1:30 a.m. And he turns to me, he goes, "Should I watch Born Identity?" I was like, great fucking movie.
Great
Whole
movie.
Born series, underrated. So I'm editing my video. He's watching Born Identity. Everything's going fine. It's like 1:30, 1:45 a.m. There's a little turbulence. And George, anytime there's a little bump, George goes like this. "Is this okay?" I'm like, "I think so, man." Another 10 minutes go by. Now I look over. Now just moments earlier, he had been really thoroughly enjoying his movie. He's like, "This is great. Like, this is a great movie." I turn to him, and he's like this on the tray table.
Out of it. Fallen.
He turned. I go, oh shit. He turns to me. He goes, "I'm really nauseous. I think I'm gonna yak, man." And he has the bag, the little square bag.
Oh,
out
no.
From in front of the seat. And I go, George, I saw what you just ate. Do not fucking throw up in that little bag, George. Please. Please go to the bathroom. It's 2 seats in front of us. So he goes, "Okay, let me by." Gets up, walks by. I put my headphones back and I start editing. 10 seconds later, I feel a thud. Not see, not hear. I feel a thud in my seat. And I look up, and there's George Janko unconscious against the cockpit door with all of the flight attendants around him.
Oh, no, it gets better. Because just keep listening.
Okay? Take this in. Now imagine this. It's 1:45 a.m. Completely quiet flight. Everyone on the flight is either snoozing, drinking, or involved in a movie.
I love
but
this
now
story, by the
everybody
way.
peeks out of their seat like this
Oh, no.
and looks up. And here's what I do, because this kind of shit, like he said, we see so much. It just doesn't even faze me anymore. I go like this. I go, "Motherfucker!" I take my headphones out. I go to the front. As soon as I get there, there's the classic flight attendants leaning over him, right? And as soon as I get there, his eyes spring open like this. And he looks right at me. He looks right at me. Neither of them. He looks right at me. He goes, and right when he opened his eyes, the flight attendant goes, "Sir, are you okay?" He goes, I think you fell. And George goes, "I didn't fall. I'm just sleeping." I goes, "I'm just sleeping," against the cockpit door, which is, like, as you know, the most sacred area. The cockpit door is the most sacred area ever. And so the flight attendant now looks at me. He looks at me like this, like I'm going to be able to answer the question. I go, "Dude, he's not sleeping."
No, you missed the best part.
No, hold on. What?
He turns to Mike and
No,
goes,
stop. Do not fucking say this. He turns to he looks at me. I go, "Bro, he's not sleeping. he got up, he was feeling nauseous, and he fell on the ground. He fell unconscious on the ground. And the flight attendant, I shit you not, goes, well, you can't do that. I go to him. I took a breath. I go, dog, I don't think he did it on purpose, man. I don't think he did it on purpose, man. He goes, well, I'm going to need you to go take your seat.
Damn.
So, and you want to know what I'm not doing? I ain't getting fucked up by an air marshal.
Yeah, we've seen what happened.
So I went back to my seat and I sat down.
Did they end up duct taping George to the seat?
Now I'm just watching. The first thing they do is they maneuver his lifeless body over to the hallway.
I kept going out.
Because you got to get
you're back and you're in and out.
Oh, yeah. I remember waking up, like, I'm sleeping, and then I just went back out, and then I just woke up again, and they're, like, working on me, and I was like, oh, this is serious.
What you mean working on you?
Bro, they were, like, about to do, like,
CPR.
CPR on me.
So listen, hold on. So they maneuver him away because, like I said, they got to get him away from that cockpit door.
I asked him to move me this way because I'm like, as I'm going in and out, I'm seeing everybody looking at me through the eye like this. And I go, could you just push me up against the door over there?
So they move him out of the way, but I can still see because I'm in 2. So I can see to the side door because they put him behind the bathroom. So I look over. 2 minutes later, they got him hooked up to an oxygen tank. Whoa. Guy comes up to me. He goes, was he drinking a lot? I go, he doesn't drink, man. Yeah. They go, he's pouring sweat. I look back over. The other flight attendant has those freezer blocks that you put in your freezer that you put in a cooler to keep like shit cold when you go to the park, all over him. And then a third flight attendant is fanning him with a United Airlines credit card brochure. Wow. Like this.
As she was doing it, he's like, do you know what the kind of points you could get from this? And I was like, of course I have one.
So anyways,
you a Rapid Reward member? I'm like, yes.
They finally come up to me and they go, I'm in the aisle. They go, sir, we're gonna ask you to move your seat over to the window, and we're gonna put him in the aisle so that we can continuously check on him. So they come over, they bring him over, and I'm sitting there and I look over and there's George, wife beater, hairy chest pouring out with the fucking oxygen bag attached to his face, and he looks at me, he goes, and I go, what the fuck is going on right now, dude? And like dude, so I'd already texted Logan. I texted him first.
I was getting real time I go, what the fuck just happened?
I said I'm asking the same thing.
I go, what the fuck just happened?
But I texted him and he goes, you got to help him. I go, Logan, I'm going to be up front with you. I can't stop laughing right now. I am. You got to understand, I'm crying.
Like I'm not bullshitting. Like I sat down close to death, and he's just fucking.
Stop! Don't spread that.
Gone. And I look at him like, this is friendship. This is friendship. They're just like,
but it really is
clear. He's friendship. Like clear. So because
it really is. That's friendship.
Can I tell? Because this is the best part. Because I'm listening to his side of the story, and I'm like, fuck. Everything is about like perspective. I'll tell you, as the driver of this vehicle, what the fuck was going on. First of all, which I found hilarious. There's so many Easter eggs in this story that I fucking love. One, I'm at TSA. I didn't have any problems here at this point. But the person in front of me, like a couple, had 6 kids, all fresh kids. Like this woman popped these out. It was like the Brady Bunch. I couldn't believe. Oh my! There was one kid running around with his diaper.
Brand new humans, freshly minted.
Oh my God! I had anxiety watching, and the person next to me, I was like, oh my God. I just hate when people cause scenes. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I hate that.
Then you did the biggest scene ever.
This dude.
I was gonna say, you're that guy.
This dude was on our flight. First front row seat. He's a pilot, and he was taking the flight to go do something else. So he's literally like the front one.
Yeah.
The reason I got like really intoxicated is because it was within 24 hours I found somebody very close to me passed away. So I was just trying to get out of it and try to be in a good mood. So I took an edible and I was like, you know what? I need extra love today. I'm going to take an extra edible. Turns out altitude's a bitch. Even to say it. It defeats me up there and with the pronunciation of it.
I have the worst news for you, fam.
What?
I think because it's pressurized, the altitude actually is completely irrelevant.
I've taken 2 before.
Well,
and this
no,
has never happened to
altitude
me.
clearly does something to some people.
Yeah. So
when the cabin isn't pressurized, it's pressurized to.
No, can't you get altitude sickness from? Oh, not altitude.
You know
Yeah.
what? That is true. That is true. That is true.
Long story short, I'm talking to him in real time and also to George's girlfriend, who's very concerned because, of course, as soon as he came back to the seat with the thing strapped to his face, the first thing I did was take an Instagram.
take a picture.
That shit on Instagram.
you have to.
So I'm
fast.
sitting-
and I got so many DMs. They're like, "Is he okay?" And by the way, when if you're laughing at your friend
Oh, wait.
in a situation, if you're laughing at your friend in a situation like this, it's generally because you know they're okay. Like he was fine. He was back at the seat, and the situation was just funny.